Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Dan and Danny Talk Sports. I'm Dan Studer alongside always my partner, Danny Gulix. Danny, how are you doing tonight?
I'm tired, but I'm okay. I'm not doing bad. I had a pretty good day. No work today. It was nice. It's a nice, calm, chill day. How you doing, man? How was work? I know you work today.
Well, I'm exhausted after work. It wasn't like horrible. It was, I don't know, just very tired though. Not exactly awake, but certainly awake enough to record this podcast.
Waking up for the fans,
Love
always.
them.
But
Always.
before we get into anything, I just want to say thank you for the support on the last episode. The last two episodes, really. It's we both understand that growth is not exponential. So, some videos are gonna do good, some videos are gonna do bad. But the last video has I believe it's our second most views on any video that we posted. We've been jumping at subscribers. It's very nice, and I
I
really
think it
appreciate
is
the
the
support.
most. So
Uh,
right now it's sitting at 37, which is the most of the episodes that really matter. I'm not going back to actually, yeah, we our NFL head coach. I'm sorry, no, not that one.
the one
Wild
before
card
that.
weekend. Oh yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, the
Yeah,
NFL playoff. That one had 42 views.
42. Yeah, so it's sitting at number two, but that was also 9 months ago, 8 months ago. This was 6 days ago.
Right.
So I mean, just thank you. The support is amazing. It's
We
definitely
love you
appreciated. Love
guys.
you guys. I'm very happy about it. But yeah, that out of the way.
Danny, you know who else I love?
Me.
Sure. But I also I also love I bleed pinstripes. I absolutely love the New York Yankees, your 2022 AL East Division champions as of last night. And to uh, quote as best as I can, Michael K. It was really nice of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to let the Yankees clinch in his house. Um,
This guy really wants it to turn to a baseball podcast.
I mean, yes, every week I always try. I'm going to talk about the Yankees really quickly. And even I'm going to talk about the minor league Yankees really quickly. So as everybody knows, or maybe not everybody, so I shouldn't say that. But last night, Tuesday, September 27th, the Yankees beat the Toronto Blue Jays, clinched the American League East. Right now, they're about to, I believe they're going to be the number 2 seed in the playoffs. So they'll play the winner of Cleveland and Seattle, I want to say right now is what the picture's looking like. The Mets met, they blew their division. They're tied with the Braves right now for first place.
Braves are good, reigning World Series champs, so can't really be
Yeah,
mad.
exactly.
And now they actually have their best player healthy, so can't really be upset.
I mean, I think they've got the NL Rookie of the Year on their team too in Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider, I think that's his name.
Yeah, no, he's good. But I mean, they won the World
He's
Series
got a
last year
sick mustache.
dude, the stash game is nuts. But nah, I mean, they won the World Series last year without Ronald Acuna, and now they have Ronald Acuna. So it's
Acuna
going to be
Jr.
Ronald Acuna Jr. I apologize for not adding
Thank
the
you.
junior, but
Danny, you'll
y'all know who
never
I'm
be
talking
as
about.
good as Acuna. You'll never be as good as Acuna.
Acuna Matata.
There was a fan at a Phillies game last year that was yelling at Bryce Harper. He'll never be as good as Acuna, and Bryce Harper's just going, "It's Acuna, it's Acuna." But going to the Yankees minor league organization really quickly, the Somerset Patriots are playing in the Eastern League playoff championship game. Danny, it's only the third inning. I just got a notification saying that they hit their third home run of the third inning. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say. I think it's safe to say that they're going to wind up beating Erie in this game. They're right up. Right now, it's the bottom of the fourth. They're up 14-0.
It's a close game, but
It is.
honestly, Mets are better. And now let's get into the football talk. Not going to
Well,
back
I
up that
mean,
statement at all.
Jason Dominguez homered, so he's
Jason
him.
Dominguez is that guy. And
He's on him watch.
speaking of him being him,
You're welcome.
Segue.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm so good at those.
Studer is carrying the segues. we're gonna start off the show with the
Him
him
report.
report. Yeah, that's what we're calling it. The him report. I stuttered. So we did this last week before the right after for our recap show of the week. We did a little him report where we did a watch, an alert, and just basically saying like, yo, this guy's him. So next week, hopefully we'll have like a little intro to it. Me and Stu have been talking ideas, been chopping them up. So
Hmm.
watch out for that. You want to start us with your him watch first? So for the people that are new, the him watch is like, yo, could be that guy. Could be that guy. Him alert is he will be that guy. You just got to give him some time. And he's him. He's already that guy. He is that guy. We're just giving him a little bit of spotlight, talking about a good performance. That's all. That's all that is. It's nothing too crazy. Do you want to start us off?
Would you like me to do my runner up and then you can do your? Do you have a runner up for him?
I do have a runner up. I have a runner up for
Okay.
each of them.
All right.
I got pretty
I don't
lucky.
have one for he's him, but I'll do my him watch runner up. Danny, this one is gonna go to none other. We were kind of talking about it before we started the pod. I'm just pulling up his information right now. My him watch runner up goes to Corliss Waitman, the punter from the Denver
Ooh.
Broncos. I mean, this was just one game, so it's nothing to get too hyped over. But
That's the whole point of the segment.
Danny, he had
Overhyped.
10. Danny against San Francisco, he had 10 punts. His longest punt was 57 yards, averaging 47.6 yards.
That's a boot. That man has a leg. And
Six
we
of those were
appreciate
inside of the 20.
we appreciate the punters over here. From a man whose girlfriend is planning to be an NFL punter. We appreciate our punters right here. We
Did
watch
you just
Bengal.
say?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's the
Well,
thing.
well, go past it.
Nah.
Did you just say coming from a man whose girlfriend is planning on
Yeah.
becoming a?
Yeah. You know her. She's got a leg.
I didn't know that's what Jen wanted to do. Pardon me.
Yeah, she got a leg. She played soccer.
All right.
It's very different. I understand. We watch Bengal over here. Shout out
We
Bengal.
love Bengal.
Shout out Monmouth County.
You know what? That's gonna be our first like special. We will get Bengal. We will get Gene Dangus on the pod.
Gene Dangus.
That's Coach Gene Dangus to us, by the way.
Yeah, I know we had our happenings in the past when I couldn't get you your draft class by when you wanted it, and I'm sorry. And I apologize then, and I apologize now, but I will be better.
All right, Danny. Well, you failed to do that, and who is your player that failed to be the star him watch alert for you?
Give me your real him watch because mine kind of go hand in hand.
All right, my real him watch. Call me biased, Danny. I'm gonna go Richie James.
Okay.
Now
we got
this
some
is a little.
Here.
It's a little contradictory to what we'll say in tomorrow's episode when we talk about the Giants. Or actually, we might even get to it later when we talk about the game against Dallas.
Yeah.
But this last game against Dallas, I mean, 4 for 5, 36 yards. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet, but against Carolina, 5 for 6, 51 yards. Against Tennessee, 5 for 6, 59 yards. So we took a little bit of a hit in that Dallas game, but realistically, right now, he's kind of looking like wide receiver 1 for the Giants. And like I said, we'll talk more about that later, but I think he deserves a little bit of credit, a little bit of recognition. I'm going to go Richie James.
I absolutely agree. I mean, I'm happy that we got some differences in our list because my two him watch players are completely different. We did not talk about either one of them, so that's nice. But yeah, no, Richie James has definitely been very good this season and honestly very surprising. It's definitely a product of a system that wants to use him. When you have receivers like, I mean, Sterling Shepard did go down, which is very unfortunate. But when you have like a guy like Kadarius Toney, when you have a weapon like Saquon Barkley, when you have a weapon like what's his name, Darius Slayton. I like Darius Slayton. I don't care if I'm biased. I do. I'm a Darius Slayton truther. He still has time.
No, he doesn't.
Shut up. But when you got guys like that, and you're using Richie James, I mean, that's cool. I like Richie James. The production's been good and it's been consistent. He's been very good each week. So my two, I'm going to give a quick shout out. I'm not talking about this guy. Dameon Pierce finally had a good game. 80 yards, 20 attempts, 4 yards per one touchdown. It's good, man. He's he's solid. He's not great, but he's solid. But my two him watch players go kind of hand in hand, a pair of backup running backs that low key could arguably should be starters on their teams. My honorable mention is gonna be Tony Pollard. I love Tony Pollard, like in every aspect. I just genuinely think he's better than Ezekiel Elliott at this point.
I don't disagree.
It's hard to disagree. Like you watch the productivity on the field. Tony Pollard failed to touch the end zone, which is unfortunate. I mean, not unfortunate for you because he played the Giants, but I mean, 105 on 13 attempts, 8.1 yards per carry. That's good. And behind the Dallas O-line, which is just not good when Tyron Smith's not healthy. Tyron Smith. I think I did that last episode too when I was trying to talk about him. But I think it's nice that they also found a future left tackle because I forget his name, but whoever's playing left tackle right now for them, he's a younger guy. I don't know if he's a rookie or second year, but he's been absolutely killing it. Like just not letting up a lot of pressure for Cooper Rush, opening some holes for the running backs. Like it's a long way from their starter, but I mean it's still nice. And my number one him watch guy, who I will die on the hill that he is going to be this guy. He should be the starter, which is no discredit to the running back that's in front of him. He should be used more. He's only in his second year. He's 24 years old. This week, led the league in rushing yards this week with 157 on 20 carries. So that's 8 yards per attempt. He had 2 touchdowns, long of 52. This is Khalil Herbert for the Chicago Bears. David Montgomery went down, giving Khalil Herbert a lot more run. That's why he got the 20 carries. He also got 2 receptions for 12 yards. That's not much, but Chicago just doesn't throw to the running backs a lot. Khalil Herbert is a good runner. 8 yards per. That's insane for a running back. I mean, Lamar Jackson beats him with 9.7. Cordell Patterson beats him with 8.3. And then Tony Pollard with 8.1. And then nobody else in the top 10 has anything above 8 or anything above 6, it looks like. 5.9 is the closest with J-Rob. 20 attempts, 8 yards per. That's good running behind a not good offensive line. That's star talent right there. I'm not going to. No, I will die on the hill. Khalil Herbert should be the starter, and he will be very good in this league as long as he doesn't get hurt.
So you're saying Khalil Herbert over David Montgomery?
Yes. As a pure runner, as how I think they should be used, Khalil Herbert, I would take over David Montgomery. You want to give us your him alert?
Yeah, I will give you my him alert runner-up. This is a tough call. This was very like 50-50 for me.
You got 2 guys here?
I got 2. I'll give you my runner-up, and then I'll give you my runner-up, and then I'll just do my actual winner for the him alert. Okay. And then you'll do yours. Danny, I'm gonna go Devontae Smith.
Okay.
8 receptions on 12. 8 receptions on 12 targets against Washington, 169 yards, averaging 21.1. He had a touchdown, and I'm pretty sure that of those 169, I want to say he had like 120 of those before the end of the first half. Jeez. He's completely skips the him watch for me. Obviously, we saw him with Alabama, won the Heisman Trophy. I believe he was the first wide receiver to win it since Desmond Howard. And I think he won it with Michigan.
I don't know.
I gotta look that up because it's gonna bother me.
Yep.
No, I'm so smart. Yep, Desmond Howard.
Look at you, bro.
Michigan.
But no, I definitely looked at him for mine. Like he had a good week. I just couldn't put him into any of mine because I wanted to talk about those running backs. And I just after the bad start to the season, I couldn't put him in there yet. Got to give him a week or two. And then maybe next week. Hopefully next week we talk about him.
Well, Danny, my him alert actually does go to somebody who had a rough week 1.
Okay.
It's a quarterback. Would you like to take a guess?
He had a rough week 1?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Trevor Lawrence?
It is Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, he had a really weak Really rough week one
There
against
you go.
Washington.
Only took 3
but
tries.
Thank you. Looking at week 2 against Indianapolis, I know obviously we're going to be focusing on the most recent game, but we can still talk about his week 2 performance. 25 for 30, 235 yards, and 83.3% completion percentage, averaging
Jesus.
7, 8, and 2 touchdowns. The completion percentage went a little down. So did the average, but the touchdown went up. This week against the Chargers, he went 28 for 39, 262 yards, so more yards, 71.8% completion percentage, averaging 6.7 with 3 touchdowns. Back-to-back weeks, his O-line is standing strong for him. Back-to-back weeks, no sacks.
Yep, and little stat right here. Only 2 quarterbacks had a higher QB rating than him. Could you tell me who the 2 are without looking at the stats?
This week.
One guy I plan on talking about later. One guy I do not, but we have talked about him in this.
Lamar Jackson.
No. I would love to talk about Lamar Jackson for my He's Him. I did it last week, though. Not going to do back-to-back. Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Wait. Is one of them Jalen Hurts?
Yes, Jalen Hurts.
Okay, can I take a guess on the other one?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts led the league in QB rating this week with 123.5 against
a
decent Washington defense.
I just want to, just tell you these games really quickly. No, I'm gonna guess. I want to guess Tua.
Yep, Tua 123.8. That's good. I believe I talked about him last week too. When I only talked about, I believe it was just running backs and quarterbacks that I talked about. So, but I'm switching it up this week, man. You showed some love to the defense last week. I'm gonna do it this week.
I did.
I'm gonna do it this week with he's semi new to the team, only came in last year, but he's making an impact. 2.5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles for Cincinnati Bengals edge Trey Hendrickson. He was good before he got there. I believe he was on the Saints. I think I was kind of about the free agency move when they picked him up. Did they pick him up this year, or was that last year? I believe they picked him up last year.
I want to say it was last year.
Yeah. I was kind of iffy about the free agency move. I know that much because I was like, he played on the opposite side from what? Oh, wow. I'm blanking on his name. Very good edge rusher for Saints. Like insane. But he played on the opposite side of a guy who took all the attraction of the O-line away. And he had like 18.5 sacks and then went to Cincy. And I was like, he's good, but he's not going to make that big of a difference. But no, I lied. He made a very big difference on the 27-12 victory over the Jets. 2 forced fumbles, 2.5 sacks. Those are some good stats, man. 2 forced fumbles in one game. That's crazy. He's him. Or he will be him. He's going to be one of the best edge rushers, at least this year.
Are we ready to move on to He's Him? Did you do yours?
To Timothy Emerson?
To Timothy Emerson, correct. Yep.
Do you only have one here, right?
I do only have one here.
You give me your one because I think we are gonna have the same guy. I have 2, so I'll talk about my other one, but I think your one is gonna be my one.
Okay. He's him. I gotta go Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay. Nah, not the same one.
All right, that's cool.
I got another guy in the MVP conversation though.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I wonder if you're going to talk about somebody else. All right.
I am.
Well, obviously you're going to talk about somebody else, but I'm wondering if I'm thinking about who you're going to talk about. Well, New England. Actually, there's 2 names that I have in mind. Against New England, passing wise, 18 for 29, 218 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And
on the ground, he had 11 attempts. He did have an interception. Yep. On the ground, he had 11 attempts for 107 yards, averaging 9.7, and also had a rushing touchdown.
5 total touchdowns, bro. I cannot understand. I cannot understand. I'm a Steelers fan.
Just like Aaron Judge, pay the man.
Shut up. I'm kidding.
No.
Fair enough.
I will make this about baseball any way that I can.
Yeah, fair enough. And once the season starts, which we got preseason coming up this week, I will make this show about basketball as much as I can. So
I will try to make this about hockey then, dude. Fight me. Jimmy Vesey had a great game for the Rangers last night. They lost in overtime to the Bruins.
Well, you took an L, so who cares? I love Lamar Jackson. Even as a Steelers fan, AFC North, it sucks that we have to play this man twice a year because he is good. He is great. He is top tier quarterback in the league. If literally any other quarterback, if Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen was doing the things that Lamar Jackson is doing, it would be everywhere. Literally everywhere. Everybody would say that's the best quarterback in the league, no doubt. But since it's Lamar Jackson, people don't want to say it. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know about that, Danny. I think it's just that when it comes to the quarterback, more people care about in the air versus on the ground.
Which is understandable. I get it, but in the
If
air,
Lamar was to
Jackson,
throw it, I want to see Lamar Jackson hit Mark Andrews with a sidearm throw, then then that will be everywhere.
I'm not worried about the sidearm throw. I'm worried about Lamar Jackson. Let me see where he is passing leader wise. Lamar Jackson, never mind, 17th in passing yards total.
See what I
But
mean?
in average per game, he is, or per
Third.
attempt. Per attempt, he's third.
Average wise, he's third.
Passing touchdowns, he's first. He's only been sacked 6 times. His quarterback rating is first. His completion percentage is 17th. Oh. But his QBR is second. Like, if he's putting up top tier numbers at quarterback, it's just the yards aren't 100% there. But he's first in touchdowns. And rushing wise, he's 5th in the league in rushing. That's insane. That's 5th in the league on 9.3 yards per attempt, which is
He's
first
tied
in the
for
league.
5th.
Okay, yeah. He's tied
Christian
for 5th with
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey, yeah. But still, he's insane. He is him. And if you're arguing that he's not him, you got some serious self-reflecting to do. So my he's him that I thought you were going to say is Jalen Hurts. I believe I talked about him last week for my him alert, and I was like, hey, maybe give him a week, maybe give him 2. Gave him a week. That's that guy, bro. Like, he had 340 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I don't know what he had on the ground. I'm just looking at that real quick. What did Jalen Hurts have on the ground this week? Oh, it must have not been a lot. I don't see him.
20.
Only 20? All right. Yeah, 20 on the ground.
9 carries, 20 yards.
That's not good. But 340, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions is very good. He's in the MVP conversation right now for me. It's between him, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen, and maybe Tua. You can sneak him in there. I think it's a 4-man race right now. You gotta assume that Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes get into that conversation, but at this point, there's only 4 names, and it's
still really early, though. I mean,
it's really early, but I mean, the 3-week sample size is enough to at least say he's got some consistency. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. He's looking like second-year Lamar Jackson that can win MVP in his second year. Jalen Hurts right now is what people want Kyler Murray to be.
Danny, Judge is up right now, by the way. He's facing a 2-0 count.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna strike out. So
Danny, he's walked like 12 or 13 times in his last like 7 games.
Did I ask?
No, you didn't, but I'm going to tell you anyways. He just grounded out to third.
Of course, that's all he does. He doesn't score. He doesn't get on base. He just strikes out and flies out. That's it.
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that.
And
you realize he's on pace to win the Triple Crown. Apologies if I already said that.
I understand. I do. I just like messing with you, and I think you know that.
Okay. Yeah.
My backup that I was gonna say as my number 1 might be a little surprising, but it's Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is him. 89 yards on 8 catches for 2 touchdowns. I think he's on pace to beat out Travis Kelce for the best tight end in the league. There, I said it. He's
what, Danny? I'll say it with you. I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think Mark Andrews is taking that crown from Travis Kelce this season.
I think he's got a shot. Yeah.
He's got speed that Travis Kelce doesn't have. He has blocking ability, but I think Travis Kelce also has pretty solid blocking ability. But he can also get up in high point of football like Travis Kelce can. He's not as much of a mismatch, and I will put that out there. Travis Kelce's got some of the best hands in the league, but Mark Andrews can separate. And Travis Kelce can also separate, just not as well. All right, that's all I got. Do we want to get on to the unfortunate week 3 that I had?
Yeah, Danny and I, really quickly, Danny, let's do a quick fantasy update. I'm 0-3. I'm the only team in our league that's 0-3. I am the Las Vegas Raiders
I
of our
didn't even
fantasy football
realize,
league.
bro.
I'm 0-3. And guess what? I'm projected to go 0-4.
I lost in all 4 of my money leagues this week. All
Nice.
4. Just real quick, I want to see if I can tell you. I mean, I started Carson Wentz, who had 8 fantasy points, so that can just tell you. But I'm happy I
Yikes.
didn't bench Kyle Pitts this week because I definitely thought about it, and he put up a season high 13.7. He still has the bum tag until he scores a touchdown.
Season high. It's been 3 weeks, dude.
Still a season high.
All right.
Yeah, nah.
Well,
It's
Danny,
unfortunate.
Today is Wednesday, meaning tomorrow is Thursday. So let's take it back to last Thursday. Danny, what happened last Thursday?
Steelers lost, man. Next.
That's it.
No. We should have won.
About to say you don't want to talk about a single stat. Yeah, you know what? I got a bone to pick. I got a bone to pick with Mitch Trubisky.
I got a bone to pick with Matt Canada.
Okay. Mine ties to fantasy. Why the hell did Pat Freiermuth not get a single target until the final drive of the game?
Because Mitch's doo-doo cheeks and Matt Canada's offense is even more doo-doo cheeks.
Freiermuth had only 2 receptions for 41 yards on 4 targets.
And they all came at the end of the game.
The one time that I start Freiermuth over, it was the last drive, Danny.
I know.
The one time that I start him over TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah,
and he didn't let me down. Trubisky let me down.
Matt Canada let everybody down, even Steelers fans. Matt Canada is horrible. He's genuinely the worst offensive coordinator in the league. And I will not talk anything poorly about the Steelers offense besides that Mitch doesn't know how to make 2 reads in one play until Matt Canada's fired. Because I don't even care if at some point it gets unreasonable. I will put all of the blame on Matt Canada until he's gone. Our O-line isn't great, but we got to deal with that. Use your weapons. George Pickens is open every play. Throw to him. Just give him a little, that's the ball, bro. Run a play for George Pickens. George Pickens came out and said if he lines up on the other side of Deontay, he doesn't get looked at. That means they only use Deontay as the primary receiver on every single play. And Mitch doesn't look away from Deontay. And George Pickens just, they don't run anything for over the middle. And George Pickens is a guy who needs that ball. You saw he made one of the best catches of all time last week. Was it last week? It was Thursday night.
Yep.
It was Thursday night. He made one of the best catches.
Better than Odell's, potentially. Probably. Looked like he was a little further back than Odell.
I would say it's better than Odell's because he was in bounds. And I will stand by the fact that Odell made a great catch, but it shouldn't have counted. Odell was out of bounds.
We'll talk about that in another episode.
We probably won't.
We'll talk about that when Odell signs.
With the Giants. Just like in Bengals Giants franchise.
We will talk about OBJ potentially going to the Giants.
Yeah, but I have nothing else to say. Steelers lost on the last play of the game because they just couldn't move the ball down the field. And they tried to lateral it at that point, and then the Browns were in the end zone. Whatever. I don't care. Steelers L. Move on.
Danny, if the Steelers are trailing at any point, at halftime, say the Steelers are trailing to the Jets, does Kenny Pickett come in?
Yes, absolutely. If the Steelers are trailing at halftime to the Jets, I don't think it's a bad idea because the next 6 games we have after that are against good defenses. And if we're not going to throw Pickett to the Wolves against a good defense right away. So it's literally our only chance. Our only chance in the first 10 weeks to throw Pickett in. Yeah, I think if we're trailing, Pickett comes in. And Matt Canada's fired mid-game. I wish.
Mid-game.
All right, next game was Bills versus Dolphins, which I think we both wanted to take the Dolphins so bad.
I took the Bills. I think I said in the last episode.
We both took the Bills, but I think we both wanted to take the Dolphins. We talked about it in the last episode that we wanted to. We thought about it.
I don't know, dude. I think only you did because I said I'm going to take Buffalo every week until they give me a reason not to pick them.
And I agreed with you. And this is our reason not to pick them, which they still looked very good. Like they didn't look like a bad team.
I mean, Josh Allen absolutely popped off still. 42 for 63, 400 yards,
Let's
two
talk about the fact he threw the
touchdowns.
ball 63 times.
Yeah.
That's
He's
insane.
also their lead rusher.
Yeah,
8 carries, 47 yards.
the Bills are a good team.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, leading in terms of yards, Devin Singletary had one more carry. What happened
Yeah.
to Devin Singletary?
I believe they just pulled. Did they pull him? Did he get injured? It
They
was one of
just,
the
I don't
two.
know. I guess they just didn't run the ball a lot. Only 23 total carries. But
Yeah, I
Singletary
mean,
had
they
had
also
nine
just
receptions on 11 targets.
they just
Isaiah
don't run the
McKenzie
ball a lot.
7 on 9 targets.
Isaiah McKenzie also had, I believe it was 79 receiving yards and a touchdown. I was gonna put him on him alert. I looked at his stats because he did have a good week, but
76 and a touchdown.
I just couldn't. 3 yards. I just couldn't put him on there because they just have so much weapons on offense that he's not going to be utilized to his full extent. But they're going to play him in a very good role that can show that his potential.
Yeah, and moving over to Miami, Tua, 13 for 18, 186 yards with a touchdown. A touchdown going to River Craycraft.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty game from either side of the ball.
Chase Edmonds, 6 carries, 21 yards, still good enough for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, right. If you have Chase Edmonds in fantasy, sell. Because they're using Raheem Mostert more. Chase Edmonds just got in the end zone twice. But yeah, no, not much to say about that game. We're gonna have a lot more to talk about games when we get into the pick'ems because we have some fun matchups next week. We really do.
I love that video of Ken Dorsey.
Oh, of slamming the clipboard. Yeah,
Not the
that
clipboard, but the Microsoft
everything,
tablet as well.
slamming everything, breaking the camera in there. That
I
was
love the two coaches that he's with too that never even look over. They just know they're smart enough to just
they're
look
just
straight.
yeah, they're like, that's not fun. That's not for me. Next game, another L for me in the pick'em. It was Bengals versus Jets. I relied on Joe Flacco, which was my issue because the Jets also relied on Joe Flacco and lost. The Bengals look good. They didn't lose to 3 backup quarterbacks in a row, which would have been wild. Joe Flacco did not look great. I mean, he never really does. But Breece Hall and Michael Carter both got more touches. Not Michael Carter, just Breece Hall got more touches than he's seen for this season. So Breece Hall, he's looking on the up and up. Jets defense looked pretty decent, I guess. I mean, that's decent you can do while you're losing. But the Bengals are the real story. Joe Burrow looked like a competent quarterback for the first time this season.
Yeah, I mean, Danny, I got this game right. I really don't know how you could have seen Cincinnati starting off 0-3.
They lost to 2
Yeah, but
backup
yes,
quarterbacks in a row.
we don't have to talk about that. Joe Burrow, 23 for 36, 275 yards, averaging 7.6, 3 touchdowns. But the real star of this game, Danny, Tyler Boyd, 4 receptions, 105 yards. And I'm going to say this for fantasy reasons. Higgins' feet were in. Moving on.
That was a crazy catch. Oh wow. I completely forgot about that.
You want to talk about somebody being in or out in the end zone. You want to talk about OBJ. Let's talk about T. Higgins. Higgins was in.
He was, oh wow, that was a crazy catch. I saw it on
fantasy
Twitter.
Over
I wasn't home
everywhere. Upset.
Yeah. I wasn't home Sunday. I was in the city. I saw a Broadway show. It was very nice. I had a great time. So I saw it on Twitter afterwards. I was like, wow, crazy touchdown. And I was like, wow, didn't count. Next game, the now only I don't even know how to say it. The only winless team. That's how you say it. Takes on the Titans, and I took the Raiders. And as you know, the Raiders are 0-3, so they did not win this game. Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I also took the Raiders here too.
Derrick Henry kind of looked like Derrick Henry in this game. Treylon Burks got more usage, so that's cool. Not a lot more targets, but snap share went up. I like Treylon Burks. I do. I don't like the Raiders at all because they've lost me 3 pick'ems now.
Probably.
I picked the Raiders.
Yeah. I probably picked them to beat Actually, no, they might have
no,
only cost me one. I
they cost
probably
me 2.
chose LA to beat them, to beat Vegas week 1, but I
I
definitely would
did.
have thought that Vegas would have beaten Arizona in week 2.
Yep. I took the Chargers over them week 1, but I took the Raiders over Cardinals last week and the Raiders over the Titans this week. I just don't think either team really looked impressive. Like this was just a sloppy week of football, in my opinion.
I mean, honestly, Derrick Henry won't look like Derrick Henry to me until he breaks 100. Another week where he gets 85,
That's fair. That's a fair take.
averaging 4. Like he gets a lot of carries, so that average is, it's a tough thing to judge.
Yeah.
He did have a rushing touchdown, averaging 4.3. One of the stars of this game, Danny, Mac Hollins.
Mac
8
Hollins,
receptions,
yeah.
158 yards and a touchdown.
Mac Hollins has literally been their receiver 1 this year. They have Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow, and Mac Hollins has been their receiver 1 this year.
I mean, they didn't have Hunter Renfrow this week, so
But
maybe.
you know my point.
Yeah.
Like you got Mac Hollins being a receiver 1. Maybe I'll put him on him watch. Maybe you can look out on him. Maybe we'll talk about him next week. Who knows? Another game where he out fantasy scores Devontae Adams. That might be the time to talk about him. Next game, Saints versus Panthers, which another game, another L by me.
Yeah, Danny, I took the Saints here, and after watching this game, I said to myself, did I really see the Panthers starting out 0-3?
I did. With Baker Mayfield as a quarterback. Ooh, it's not
That's
pretty.
very true.
No, Baker didn't really look good. I mean, Christian McCaffrey looked good in this game.
Yeah, stats? 25 carries, 108 yards. Can we talk about the fact that Winston had 353 yards and still lost?
Because he threw 2 interceptions. Jameis Winston will be Jameis Winston. He's going to force the ball, and sometimes it's going to look pretty, and sometimes it's going to look gross. And this was one of the times where it looked gross. Like, it's just, you know what you're getting with Jameis Winston. You know what you're getting with Baker Mayfield. 2 guys who cannot throw accurately, but are still going to throw. And, I mean, it wasn't the shootout that we wanted it to be, but it definitely happened.
It's also crazy to me that Chris Olave and Tre'Quan Smith both had over 100 receiving yards, no touchdowns.
Ooh, sorry.
Not okay. Anything else you want to talk about with this game? Another game where DJ Moore really let me down. Oh my God. 1 reception for 2 yards on 6 targets.
Why are you starting DJ Moore when Baker Mayfield's his quarterback?
That's your problem. At the end of the day, DJ Moore is DJ Moore. I'm about to have him ride the pine. I'm about to also drop McCole Hardman and sign Richie James.
Do it. Is Richie James still not picked up in our league?
He's not, but you know what? You know what, Danny?
Picked up today?
Danny, I'm gonna do that right now.
Do it before he gets picked up. Did you see? First of all, trade went through yesterday.
What the hell was that trade? I would have taken. I would have traded for Jahan Dotson. So it's a little unfortunate for me.
I just want to say that Rob took such a big L, in my opinion. Rob trades Dameon Pierce, Garrett Wilson, and a 2nd-round pick. The 2nd-round pick is what gets me. Rob got Mike Evans, very good. Jahan Dotson, very good. And Alexander Madison? Like, yes, Rob wins it for now, but Mike Evans is 29. Alexander Madison's a backup running back right now. And Jahan Dotson's good, but he gives up Dameon Pierce, who just had his best game of the season, Garrett Wilson, who's the Jets' future #1 wide receiver, and a 2nd-round pick? A 2nd-round pick in the rookie draft? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Danny, I need your opinion really quickly.
Uh-huh.
Nobody in our league also has Noah Brown.
Michael Gallup's coming back, so I wouldn't pick him up.
That's very true. And with Shepard going down.
Yeah.
Oh, plus they'll be getting Dalton Schultz back too.
Yeah. You see that Steelers defense is trending up because Zach Wilson's starting.
It's crazy.
That's insane. Giants defense also trending up a ton.
Their defense had a really good game. We'll talk about that when we get to it. As I drop McCole Hardman and I sign Richie James, wide receiver 1. Danny, is there anything else that you want to talk about Saints Panthers?
I want to talk about how I just want to talk about how I just dropped Marquez Valdez-Scantling for Isaiah McKenzie. Um,
Nobody had Isaiah McKenzie.
that's what I'm saying, bro. What?
Somebody had to have dropped him.
It was Rob, because Rob drafted him drafted him in the second to last round in our league.
Yeah, I thought it was the last round actually.
No, it was second to last. I made all the TikToks about it. Remember? It took me 10 hours.
Right.
All right, next game. Ravens.
Nobody
versus
also has Matt Collins in this league.
Saw that. Ravens versus Patriots. Ravens take the W here. Lamar Jackson, 5 total touchdowns. We already talked about him. Can we talk about how Mac Jones scored a rushing touchdown, hit the gritty, and then left the game with like a broken back? Not actually broken back, but a back injury.
I don't think it was his back. It was his ankle.
I thought it was his back.
I
Oh
thought it
no,
was his
last week
ankle.
was his back. Last week was his back. My bad.
There
my
you
bad.
go. Yep.
Hit like almost a Mike Gesicki-esque gritty. Like he was hitting the Yankee Doodle.
He was hitting the Yankee Doodle.
But I mean,
Oh man,
Mac Jones with a crazy game, 321 and 3 interceptions for a 51 QBR. Jesus, the Ravens offense is disgusting. Besides Ramondre Stevenson, who finally outsnapped. I mean, he's been outsnapping Damian Harris since week 1, but 12 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown on 6.1 per carry. That's pretty good.
and then Devontae Parker, 5 receptions, 156 yards.
Yeah.
No touchdowns, 10 targets. So still a 50% completion percentage for him alone.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, not really.
Not at all. Next
Take
game,
us to our next game.
another one that I got wrong. Lions versus Vikings. I took the Lions. The Lions did not look bad. The Vikings just looked better.
This was a really
Weird
interesting
game.
game to
It was
keep track
weird.
of.
Yes, because the Vikings won 28-24. But if I told you that the Vikings won a game, wouldn't you assume that Justin Jefferson had more than 3 receptions for 14 yards? You would assume that, right? You would assume that maybe Justin
I wouldn't have
Jefferson,
thought that KJ Osborne was their lead receiver.
You would have thought Justin Jefferson would have been the guy with 5 receptions, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
And like
KJ
3
Osborne.
touchdowns. Yeah.
You would have thought that maybe he was the guy with 6 receptions, 61 yards, and a touchdown, but that was Adam Thielen. Like, Irv Smith had more yards than him. Jalen Reagor had 1 reception. That's only 2 less than Justin Jefferson. The big story here is really just Dalvin Cook getting injured. Like, Dalvin Cook shoulder injury, most likely going to be out next week.
DeAndre Swift as well.
DeAndre Swift got hurt too?
I thought he did.
I mean, no, you could definitely be right.
Unless it's just I'm just thinking of the wrong wide receiver from this game. But Danny, this was
Wide
just a
receiver.
very
dummy. Yeah,
I'm
he
sorry,
definitely got
running
hurt.
back.
He only had yeah, and he didn't practice today. Shoulder and
Yep.
ankle.
Sorry, I'm smart. This was just a very evenly matched game. I mean, 277 yards for Goff, 260 for Kirk Cousins. Lead rushers, Dalvin Cook for Minnesota at 96 yards, Jamal Williams at 87 for Detroit.
Shout out Jamal
And-
Williams, 2 touchdowns. He hit the Key and Peele celebration, the hips. That was nice. I like that.
And the difference in the lead rusher between Detroit and Minnesota, Josh Reynolds having 96 yards to KJ Osborne's 73. This was just a very evenly matched game, and the score obviously shows that, with there only being a 4-point difference.
Yeah, nah, it was a good game, and it definitely would have been a fun game to watch. Lions, Vikings, division rivals. I'm sure that they had each other well scouted. Next game.
Minnesota didn't cover the spread though.
Really? Always never bet the spread.
Minnesota at -6.5.
I saw a TikTok about that. Never bet the spread. It's always a bad bet. I'm pretty sure like this season alone, if you bet the underdog to just cover the spread and not to outright win, you would have lost. I think only 3 times that the underdog covered just the spread and still lost. So if you're gonna bet for the underdog, just bet for them to win. And if you're gonna bet for the non-underdog, bet for them to cover the spread. Because
So next game.
Next game, sorry. Eagles versus Commanders, one that definitely would not have been fun to watch. Absolutely.
This
not.
was a boring yet eventful game. This was just boring in the sense that Washington did not put up a fight at all.
At all. I'm pretty sure Carson Wentz. Not Carson Wentz. I'm like the Commanders as a team had like -8 passing yards just because Wentz got sacked so many times. Like it was just a not good game. I know Wentz had 211 yards.
The team was
no.
at 153.
153, sorry. It was earlier in the game. It was at halftime because at halftime the Eagles had like almost 300 yards and the Commanders had -8
Right.
total, which is bad. Like the Eagles win probability never, they started the game at 62.5. They never went below that. And all of the fourth quarter.
Yes, they did. At one point, it was only 61.6. Actually, at one point, it was 60.
Shut up.
No, I love proving you wrong. It's one of my favorite hobbies.
I know you do.
And yeah, I mean, we kind of already talked
suck.
about this game without talking about this game. We already talked Jalen Hurts. We already talked Devontae Smith. If anything, Scary Terry having 6 receptions for 102 yards.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders, nothing really impressive out of him, which kind of sucks. I'd love to see him do more. 15 carries for 46 yards.
Pretty sure
As
Antonio
long as
Gibson scored the touchdown for the Commanders. I could be
he did
wrong.
indeed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not a game that I want to talk about. It was not good. Next game is one that we can talk about though. Chiefs Colts. Upset of the week, Chiefs Colts.
I'm sorry. What the actual? How do you lose? I'm sorry. I'll try not to clap. How do you lose to a team that got shut out? What, 24-0 to the Jacksonville Jaguars? How does that happen?
How do you lose to a
Let
team
me know.
How do you lose to a team that tied the Texans? You're the best team in the league?
Yeah, that too. You're supposed to be like a top 3 team in the league, and you lose to the Indianapolis Colts in week 3.
And
that's absolutely pathetic. That is pathetic.
I think what's his name? I think it's their OC, Blysney. I
don't know.
I forget how to say his name. The guy who was arguing with Patrick Mahomes. I think he might get fired. I know a lot of players are coming out about him. Specifically, LaShawn McCoy said that the only thing he knows how to do is yell at players and not know how to call pass plays.
I'm sorry, but this is an absolutely pathetic loss for Kansas City.
They lost right at the end of the game to a Jelani Woods touchdown. Jelani Woods now officially has more touchdowns in his career than Kyle Pitts. I have as many touchdowns this season as Kyle Pitts. He's not getting that bum taken off of his name until he scores one. Like, just how do you lose to the Colts? And it's not like anybody really even looks that good for the Colts. Like, Matt Ryan didn't look good. I mean, 2 for 2 touchdowns. Wow, angel numbers. Jonathan Taylor, 71 rushing yards. Not very good. Michael Pittman, 8 for 72.
72. Yep.
Not
nothing really impressive here from
spectacular.
Indianapolis.
Matt Ryan fumbled twice. That's not good. It's really just the Chiefs didn't know how to get away with it. Patrick Mahomes, 262, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Patrick Mahomes led the team in rushing yards with 26. Like, Juju Smith-Schuster led the game in receiving yards with 82 or 89. Excuse me, 5 receptions. They just didn't know how to convert.
And Rodney McLeod with the game-winning interception, game-sealing interception.
I just don't understand, bro. Like, that just doesn't make any sense.
Like, how do you? I'm not even a Chiefs fan, and I'm bothered by it.
I'm just bothered by it because I picked the Chiefs.
Maybe that's why it means a lot to me.
Finally,
Chiefs should always be safe. The Chiefs are like the Bills. You pick them until they give you a reason not to pick them. This loss to the Colts is even worse than the Bills loss to Miami.
100%. 100%. Next game, Texans versus Bears, the one that I predicted to be a tie. LOL JK, but not really. I predicted the Bears to win.
I mean, it was close.
It was close. It was 23-20, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I predicted the Bears to win. I was correct. What did Justin Fields throw? 17 times. I'm pretty sure his over-under was 18.5. And we both said, hey, take the under on our take or toss segment. And we were correct. You pass the ball 17 times and you win? And you turn it over twice? 8 for 17, 106, 2 interceptions. He got sacked 5 times. His QBR was 19.
That's why Khalil Herbert had 157 rushing yards on 20 carries.
If he threw the ball at the ground every play, he would have had a higher QBR.
He's the sole reason why they won this game, honestly. Him and who's their kicker? Cairo Santos.
Goat. Love Cairo Santos.
3 for 3. Longa, he had a 50.
Yeah, no, Roquan Smith. I was thinking about him, but he's obviously one of the best interior linebackers in the league, so I wasn't going to put him on my him watch. But I mean, 16 tackles, 6 solo, 2 TFLs, 1 pass defended, 1 pick.
Oh man,
that's good. Nothing to talk about here. The Bears are 2-1.
Any
Next,
stats from Houston? No.
nah, no.
Damian Pierce, 80 yards.
Damian Pierce, we already
Talked
talked
about
about.
that.
Davis Mills, pretty sure in the 2-minute drill this year, he is 1 for 10 for 1 yard and 1 pick. I saw that on Bleacher Report today. Shout out. Next game was Jags Chargers. This was the one where I said upset of the week, and I chose, even though Justin Herbert was playing, I chose not to switch off of it. And hey, it helped me out because the Jags won. Justin Herbert really should have just sat out this game, like genuinely. 38-10, not even close. Nobody played good for the Chargers. Herbert 297, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. That's honestly not bad considering he was playing with borderline broken ribs. They couldn't run the ball. Austin Eckler 4 carries for 5 yards. Sony Michel 5 carries for 22.
Sony Michel was their leading
carry.
Oh man.
Josh Palmer 6 for 99. Their one lone touchdown was a 1 pass to Mike Williams. 1 reception, 15 yards and a tutty for Mike Williams.
Oh, wait a second, Danny. I thought I was able to switch this, Danny. I think this is the 3rd year in which I've done the weekly pick'ems. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've gone negative. I actually didn't go 8-8. I believe I went 7-9. I didn't realize Austin Eckler played because I believe what it was in the pick'ems was if any 2 of 3 of the combination of Herbert, Eckler, and JC.
It was no, you are incorrect. It was any of the 2 between Herbert, Keenan Allen, and JC Jackson play.
Oh, right. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Did JC Jackson play?
No, JC Jackson didn't play.
I'm looking at their stats. JC Jackson did not
Herbert
play.
was the only one of those 3. Okay, so never
Yes.
mind. I'm good then.
Yeah.
I mean, Herbert should have just taken the week, honestly. Still, the fact that he
100%.
only almost had 300 yards.
With borderline broken ribs is crazy. I bruised my ribs and I couldn't walk.
Joshua Palmer fell
6
just
for
a yard
99.
short of hitting 100.
Josh Palmer's cool. I like Josh Palmer.
I can't get over Sony Michel being the rushing leader.
The lead rusher over Austin Eckler. That's horrible. We talked about T-Law already. J-Rob 17 carries for 100 yards. That's good. Travis Etienne 13 carries for 45. Yeah. Now Christian Kirk is also like, he might be on him alert next week if he has another good game. 6 receptions for 72 and a touchdown. Average for 12 per.
Not even the leading receiver, Zay Jones, 10 for 85 with a touchdown.
Yes. But
wow, Zay Jones
11 targets.
10 receptions on 11 targets.
Yeah, that's good. That's
really good.
Look, Christian Kirk's been consistent this year and consistently good. Like I know you follow the money, especially in fantasy. Fantasy, you follow the money. If a team pays a guy a lot, you draft him because they're going to be used a lot. They paid, what was it? Christian Kirk got like 21 mil a year. I believe he signed
like
I believe he signed a 4-year, either 4-year 80 or 4-year 84. That's insane. So you draft him, and I'm pretty sure, let me check him right now, but he's a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy at the bare minimum. He is wide receiver 6. Wide receiver 6. Christian Kirk. That's wild. All right, next game. Another one I got right. Rams versus Cardinals. I took the Rams here. 20-12. Kyler Murray. Maybe next week will be better because the Modern Warfare 2 beta is now over. 37.
You didn't talk enough about that.
About what?
When Arizona beat Vegas last week, you're like, oh, like the whole thing with him in Call of Duty like is over. Meanwhile, the beta was out. We didn't talk enough about that.
Nah, the beta was out, and 3 for 37 for 58, 314 yards, no tutties, no picks, sacked twice for a 32.8 QBR and a 77.8 rating. That's not very good. James Conner does
Marquise Brown though. Sorry, I'm going to skip the rushing. I'm just going to go straight to Hollywood. 14 receptions on 17 targets, 140 yards.
Yeah, Greg Dortch 9 for 80. That's also pretty good. Yeah, no, like, who was the touchdown score? They didn't score a touchdown, right? I'm pretty sure it was all field goals for the Cardinals. It was all field goals for the Cardinals.
Yep, Matt Prater single-handedly carried this win.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, this game for Arizona, not win. I apologize.
Stafford also didn't score a touchdown. 18 for 25, 249. Sacked once.
Wasn't this Matt Prater's first? Yeah, These were his first attempts of the year, and he went 4 for 4. He didn't have a single field goal attempt in the first 2 games.
That's crazy. This is also Cooper Cup's worst game in a long time. 4 for 44, no touchdowns. Got out fantasy scored by Skowronek. Skowronek. I don't know how you say his name.
Skowronek.
Skowronek. Yeah, him.
Let's call him that.
Let's call him that.
Yeah.
Cooper Cup had a 20-yard rushing touchdown though, so I lied. They find a way to use this man, and it's just kind of wild. Like the offense is just so powered.
Oh, and one thing really quickly. You know what? No, we'll save it for the next episode. Never mind.
Okay. Next, Packers versus Bucks. Packers took the W. I chose the Packers. Just an ugly game. Like 14-12. Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, 14-12. Rodgers 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon both had bad games. Aaron Rodgers 1 rush for -1 yards. Big thing from this game, Allen Lazard went down, and I'm pretty sure he's like confirmed out for at least next week. Hurt his ankle. He practiced limited today, so maybe he's not. But I mean, Romeo Doubs, 8 receptions, 73 yards, and a tutty. Who's there? Christian Watson didn't play. It doesn't look like, or at least didn't get a target.
According to stats.
Yeah. But Romeo Doubs looked good. For the Bucks, Tom Brady went 31 for 42 with 271, 1 touchdown. Russell Gage is what I want to talk about. Russell Gage had a crazy end of the game drive. I believe he had ended up with 13 targets, 12 receptions, 87 yards, and a touchdown. But I'm pretty sure at least 4 or 5 of those targets came on that last drive where they had to move all the way down the field and every ball was going to Russell Gage. Literally every single one. That was insane. You got anything you want to add to this? There's really nothing for me to talk about.
I mean, I want to look at this really quickly. Russell Gage. Looks like he had 4 targets alone on that last touchdown drive.
That's insane.
Danny, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think I saw a couple of reports just like on Twitter of people saying that the Jumbotron at Raymond James was showing Brady before they went for the 2-point conversion, and like they could see the play diagram on his tablet.
Oh, I did not see that.
Not sure. I haven't really looked at this from a lot of like reliable sources.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where there's too many people saying it to ignore it.
Yeah, no, that
again, this could be not true at all, and it's also tough to tell because obviously this isn't something that you're seeing on TV. This is something that you're relying on the witnesses at Raymond James, and their credibility, which obviously is slim to none.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Next game, Falcons versus Seahawks. This was a 27-23 close game. Marcus Mariota had a pretty solid game, if I do recall correctly. Yeah, 229. Solid passing wise, solid, not good rushing wise, actually. 229, 1 touchdown, 1 pick for a QBR of 99.8. Cordell Patterson is a real talk of this game, though. 17 carries for 141 and a touchdown. Cordell Patterson, I said it last week. I'm saying it this week. He's got young legs. They're going to use him a lot. His usage will be up.
Are we sleeping on him for the him report?
No.
He hasn't been a runner-up. He hasn't been...
I think that he's pretty properly rated just considering he's 31. Like, he's not really going to be him.
That's very true.
But he's got young legs, so I do think that he's going to be in the league for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Danny, really the only point that I have to say with this is I'm glad Atlanta finally got their first win.
Yeah. I mean, if they lost to Seattle, there was going to be an issue. Kyle Pitts, 5 for 87. No touchdown. Not
still no touchdown, but you know who did? Drake London, 3 for 54.
Drake? No, never mind. Marcus Mariota did not have a good game. He fumbled twice. You know who did have a good game? Geno Smith. 325 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Geno Smith is what the Broncos wanted Russell Wilson to be. That's sad. Geno Smith is being better than Russell Wilson. And I mean, nobody wanted to draft Seattle receivers this year. You could have sniped DK Metcalf in like the 5th round in a lot of leagues. You could have sniped Tyler Lockett way late in a lot of leagues. Tyler Lockett is being decent this year. I mean, he's tied for 7th in the league in receptions, 23rd in yards, and DK Metcalf. Sorry, my thing just completely reset. DK Metcalf right now is tied for 28th in receptions and 59th in yards, but he has a touchdown. So who cares at the end of the day? Fantasy players, that's who cares.
That's who.
That's who. I traded for DK in fantasy. Traded Travis Etienne for him. And I think I also got a pick out of it. So that's pretty cool.
You did. Danny, does that bring us to Sunday night?
That brings us to Sunday night. The absolute ugliest game. I did not watch the whole thing.
I was gonna say I didn't watch this game either. So Sunday night,
had to turn it off.
I was watching the Sunday night game between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Obviously, I was looking to see if Judge would homer,
and he didn't. Obviously,
we had a bigger TV right next to the smaller TV.
Yeah.
Obviously, the bigger TV, we had the ESPN game on.
Yeah.
But at one point, when I went to bed, I think it was like 7-3 San Fran.
Yeah.
And I was walking into work the next day. I was like, let me just make sure that San Fran won so I can mark it as a correct pick. And then I saw that Denver won. What?
11-10. 11-10. How do you win a football game 11-10?
There was a game between the Kansas City Royals and the Seattle Mariners that was a higher scoring game than this. That final score was like 13-12. They got outscored by a baseball game. The Chiefs beat the Seahawks.
Who were the touchdown scorers? Brandon Ayuk scored a touchdown, and it was
wow. He actually
Melvin
knows
Gordon.
how to do that. Completely folded for me last year in fantasy.
I'm so sad that Melvin Gordon scored that touchdown because it should have been Javonte Williams's, and Javonte outsnapped him, outcarried him. Javonte had 15 carries compared to Melvin Gordon's 12, and how many targets? Javonte had 5 targets compared to Melvin Gordon's 6. Melvin Gordon definitely had 5 receptions for 29 yards, and Javonte only 3 receptions for 2 yards. That's not good.
Oh man.
But
Russell Wilson, though, 20 for 33. He had a quarterback rating of 32, call it 33.
Russell Wilson, let him cook, bro. He's making homemade ramen. That's what's
he's just burning everything. Not
let
a
him
good
cook,
way.
bro. Ketchup, M&Ms.
He's about as he's cooking as well as a well done steak.
Yeah, he's still chewing.
Ugh.
He's still chewing. He's just God. Next.
Horrible.
And
no, not next. Thank you guys so much for listening to
Dude, you talk. I think we both got this wrong. I took the Giants over the Cowboys.
I also took the Giants.
Also did because when are we going to bet against our team unless it's
Okay.
egregious? Studer, I didn't talk much about the Steelers. I want you to talk about these Giants.
the microphone's getting moved for this one.
Oh, it's getting serious. Long pause,
Danny.
dramatic effect. Studer in the Yankees jersey and the Yankees cap.
This was a good loss.
How do you figure? You lost to a backup quarterback. And Cooper Buck.
That's 2-0 as a starter.
All right. Move your mic a little away. You're a little loud.
Okay, my bad. Or
No, you're okay.
I can do this, I promise. The gain. Okay, never mind. The gain's already down all the way. I'll just.
Studer decided to move his production setup, and it did not work.
It was one possession. That's why. Do I sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. One possession game, Danny. That's what makes it a good loss. This could have been like a 35 to like 14 loss.
Yeah.
I'll take like this. This is a game that could have been over by like halfway through the third quarter, and instead it wasn't. Saquon had a good game, 14 carries for 81 yards with a touchdown. Tony Pollard had a really good game, 13 carries, 105 yards. Let's break this down by the offense really quickly. Daniel Jones
Sucks.
20 for 37, not in this game. 20 for 37, 196 yards,
And a pick.
no touchdowns. That's not his fault. Did you watch that interception?
No.
Okay. It's as simple as David Sills fell running the route and it wound up putting the ball right into Javon Diggs' hands. That's
What?
not
Yeah.
that's not Daniel Jones' fault.
What I can
If the
say,
NFL would change the rules in which an interception could get credited to a receiver, that one goes to David Sills and not to Daniel Jones.
what I could say about the Giants offense this year is Brian DeBall, Dable.
Dable.
So I fixed myself. Brian Dable has made Daniel Jones look like a competent quarterback. He is using Daniel Jones in very good systems. He's like they're moving the offense, they're shifting the line during the play. They're running a lot more play action. Like Daniel Jones is looking good. He didn't look very good this game, but in my opinion, but he's looking good.
Well, we'll get to the reason why he didn't look that good, but Daniel Jones also 9 carries, 79 yards. He had 2 less rushing yards than Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
The fact that he was able to do that on like what sort of these improv plays,
Mhm.
you know, one of the realistically, I feel like it's 2017, 2018 with me saying this. One of the real reasons why the Giants lost this game was because of the offensive line. Oh my God,
Yeah, he got
Danny.
sacked 5 times.
Danny, it was so bad. I mean, I want to look.
The Giants got sacked 5 times compared to
Let's look at this
the
really
Cowboys,
quickly.
none.
DeMarcus Lawrence had 3 sacks. I guess it's 2018 again.
Yeah. Hey, we already talked about Tony Pollard, 105. Cooper Rush, 2 for -2. He's cracked.
Donovan Wilson also with the sack and 2 quarterback hits. Micah Parsons also had 2 quarterback hits.
Michael Parsons is crazy good at football.
But you know who just really did not look good this game? Like there was one that looked meh just because he straight up didn't do anything, and then there's one who gets negative points. I love him, but I gotta give Evan Neal like an F performance for this game. I get it. He's had 3 games in the NFL. He's a rookie, the 7th overall pick in this year's NFL draft or this past NFL draft. But oh my God, he just looked so bad this game. He really did. And I get it. He's going to go through his rookie struggles. We went through the same thing 3 years ago with Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas did not look good at all in his rookie year with the Giants. Now you can argue that he's the best member of that O-line.
It was last year, right?
No, his rookie year was horrible.
I was talking about his rookie year was last year.
No.
Yeah, he was the same class as Najee. He's the same class as Najee, right?
I do not think so, dude.
Pretty sure.
Let's look at this really quickly. But yeah, just pull up Andrew Thomas's stats. I'm pretty sure.
No, I know he started out bad. He was the 4th pick in the 2020 draft, and we just had the 2022 draft. So yeah,
okay. So this is what, 2nd year? No, 3rd. 2020, 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
All right. So that was a long-winded story just to say that I was right the entire time.
Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, anyways, Evan Neal didn't look so great, but we know what progression can hold. We see it with Andrew Thomas. Is that it for the line? That's it for the line. Not done with the offense though. Sterling Shepard.
It's sad. Torn ACL.
Torn ACL 3 games after coming back from a torn Achilles against Kansas City last year.
It's got to be
Danny, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Sterling Shepard's going to turn 30 right around the time of the Super Bowl. This dude played basically 3 games after tearing his Achilles and then tearing now his left ACL. Is his NFL career done?
Yeah, and it's sad.
It really is.
It sucks because he was supposed to be good, and it's just what happens, man. Like I saw a TikTok today about the 2012 Washington and just how their season was so good and like how they made the playoffs, like clinched the wild card, and in their wild card game RG3 breaks his ankle, and like it just made me sad about how injuries derail careers so fast.
Like what makes this a lot more sad too is the fact that Shepard played in that rookie year. He was the 2nd round pick. He was the 40th overall pick in the 2016 draft. Like he was one of the last players, the last rookies to be around from like when the Giants were good and when they were winning games.
Yeah. You got anything left to say about this game, or you want to tell
I
them
just
our
want to talk about the
records?
defense. I got to give a lot of credit to the defense for really keeping them in this game. I mean, they held them to 6 points in the first half. Sure, they let up 17 in the second, but you know what? If you want to average that, that's what? Six? No, not six. Sorry. That's 7.5. No, 8.5. 8.5. 17 divided by 2? No.
17 divided by 2 is
I don't know.
eight
Whatever.
and a half.
This isn't a math podcast. No, it can't be because 8 and 8 is
8.5.
oh, okay, yeah. All right. So I was right. Damn.
Mathematician.
So they basically gave up 8.5 points per half. I'll take that. Like Tony Pollard had that really long 46-yard rush, and they still held them to only 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas only had 2 touchdowns this game. I'll take that. Now, granted, Dallas is also missing a decent amount of their offense. No Dak, no Dalton Schultz, no Michael Gallup.
Yeah, it was rough.
Anybody good on the defense? Nobody had a sack. Only 3 total pass deflections. Xavier McKinney, Jihad Ward, Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau. That's right. He was the meh. Kayvon Thibodeau, first game back, NFL debut after spraining his MCL.
Yeah,
the same
sprained
injury
MCL.
that the big cat Leonard Williams is out with right now.
The big cat.
He didn't play bad, but he didn't play great. He did nothing. Like nothing, no like quarterback hits. Like I said, he had that one pass deflection, I think on like 3rd down, but like really other than that, he was kind of invisible this game. Austin Calitro had a really bad game. I don't even want to talk about it. Julian Love with 14 total tackles, but 4 of those solo, with the most solo tackles. Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson had a pretty solid game too, for the most part.
All right. So this game brings my weekly record to a staggering 6-10, which brings my overall record to a staggering 22-25-1. Studer, where are you sitting right now?
This loss kept me even at 8-8, putting me at 26-21-1 for the season.
I got some ground to make up, or else I'm giving away a jersey.
That's right, guys. In case you didn't listen to one of our first episodes, no, it's a jersey.
Oh, we said a jersey.
We are doing a jersey.
Okay.
I don't know where you pulled this from, but it's a jersey. If you didn't listen to one of our first episode when we came back, we do these weekly pick'ems every week. Whoever has the worst record at the end of the season is giving out an NFL jersey. Whatever player, team, number you want, it's yours.
It's yours with no cost to enter. You just got to be a supporter.
You got to subscribe, like our episodes, rate us 5 stars.
Yeah. Follow us on socials too. We'll see how we're going to do it. Just listen everywhere. Just interact and your chances will go up, 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 up. So I believe, if I am correct, that will do it for today's episode. This episode will be going up Thursday, September 29th. So happy September 29th. If you're watching it later, happy whatever day it is. We will be coming out with another one, I believe, on Friday, where we'll be going over our pick'ems. Just in case y'all don't, just so y'all don't think we're cheating, do you want to do our Thursday pick'em real quick? Because this is going to come out on Thursday.
Yeah, sure. I mean, right off the rip, I'm going to take Miami. We'll go a little bit more in depth.
Yeah,
but
I'm also going to take Miami. I'm going to take Miami. So y'all are going to be watching this on Thursday. You're going to be watching our pick'em episode with, I believe we're going to do toss or take also on that episode.
Yes, toss or take.
That will be on Friday, but we're going to take Miami just so y'all don't think that we're cheating. All right. So, Studio, you want to roll us out?
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys again so much for listening. Danny talked about it earlier in the episode, so I'm just going to bring it up one more time. We really appreciate the recent support that we've been seeing. Let's keep it going. Share. Here's what I want everybody to do. I want everybody to leave one comment. Just one comment. I won't ask for a lot. I want you to leave one comment if you're watching on YouTube. And wherever you're watching is, I just want you to share it with one friend. That's it. Share it with one friend. Because then who knows? Maybe
Hey,
they're
listen.
gonna share it with only one of their friends. But guess what? That's like you sharing it with two people. You may as well share it with two people.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Just hey, be like, hey, I like this. Maybe you'll like it, and then boom. Or listen, if you don't got friends that like sports, you got a social media account. That's how you're listening. That's how you found us. YouTube. Just give us a
Oh,
like, man.
Toronto just tied the game.
L. All right.
Hell.
Thank you
All right.
guys
I really
so
can't
much
stress
for
enough
watching.
though. Really can't stress enough. I love you guys so much. Like, thank you guys so much for supporting us. This is our dream. This is what we want to do. We definitely have to straighten out and rough out all the bumps and straighten out the edges, but we're gonna do it.
Listen, we're gonna straighten out these edges. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but y'all who are with us now are going to appreciate it so much more, just like we are. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate all of the support. If you're watching at this point, just leave a comment if you're on YouTube, give us 5 stars if you're on an audio platform, and just hit us up on socials. Say you liked the episode. That's all we want. That's all we're asking for. It's not a lot. All the links for our socials are going to be down in the description. That's both of our Twitters, our podcast Twitter, and our TikTok. That's all we got right now. Instagram probably coming soon, but we'll see. And yeah, we'll have this episode up today, next episode up tomorrow, and then some more next week, doing some recaps, doing some other stuff. So hopefully y'all enjoy. Thank you so much and have a good night.
Bye, guys.